What's up YouTube and welcome back to the forexpropfirm.com YouTube channel. I'm your host Valentin and today we are going to have a new discussion on the trading tips that I already done. And today we are talking about emotional discipline and psychology. I have a little thing that I set up on a PowerPoint, so I'm going to share that one with you. So this is going to be covered in today's discussion. Number 1, understanding emotional discipline. Number 2, recognizing emotional triggers. Number 3, techniques for managing emotions. Number 4, developing a trading mindset. And finally, number 5, building emotional discipline over time. So, emotional discipline in trading. In my opinion, one of the most important skills as a trader is emotional discipline. The most common emotions that come up are fear, greed, and impatience. Most of these emotions will have an impact on yourself as a trader to push a button, because almost every time you're sitting in front of the screen and looking at TradingView or whatever, some emotions come up, and most of them are the 3 that I already mentioned here, because most of the times you're trading out of a reason, and this reason could be potentially that you want to make money. Now you are going to be greedy. Let's say you're in a trade and you want to make more. Let's say you're going to be greedy on that trade and you want to make $1,000. Unfortunately, the market turns on you and you're going to end up with a losing transaction. And that is the emotions acting up on yourself. A good thing that I always mention here is the fear of missing out, FOMO. Let's say you're going to look at crypto at the moment. If you see the Bitcoin chart, are you scared or are you angry at yourself because you missed out on the profit? Most of the times this is because the fear of missing out. But at the end of the day, you need to think about that there is always going to be a new opportunity. There's always going to be the next opportunity and the next trade. So make sure to stop thinking about the potential outcome or maybe the numbers that you're going to make with that trade, or that you're fearful of missing a trade, and don't jump straight into a trade just because you think, oh, I'm not at the charts in 1 hour and I am in fear for price to run without me when I'm not at the charts, and that's the reason for that. And in my opinion, you need to be aware of that and ask yourself in which condition you are today and how you especially feel on that day, because that is going to dictate how you're managing your emotions and how you're going to trade especially. The next thing I want to talk about is recognizing emotional triggers. The next very influential skill as a trader is to recognize the emotional triggers. What causes you as a human to have these emotions that I mentioned before? Ask yourself, what could the market do that would trigger an emotional response from myself? As I just said, look at the Bitcoin chart. It was going straight up. And what is this causing on your psychology, or what emotions are you feeling looking at that chart? That is a good indication of your most or at your biggest emotional triggers. You definitely need to develop self-awareness and mindfulness to identify and manage emotional triggers effectively. So you need to make sure to let these triggers come up and be aware of them. Make sure if there is something coming up that your mind goes, oh, okay, now I'm in fear because I am in fear that the market is going to turn on me. That is the reason why in my trading journal I have a section where I am going to ask questions when I'm in the trade. I'm going to ask myself, is this good thing that I want to do? Let's say, is it a good thing to close the trade just because I'm fearful that my stop loss is going to get hit? So I need to constantly evaluate what my thoughts are and what emotional triggers I myself have while I'm in a trade. Is it a rational decision? And that is the reason why it's so important to develop the self-awareness and to know yourself better and your emotional triggers as well. Now I'm going to talk about techniques for managing emotions. There are some common techniques for managing your emotions during trading, which are the following. Number one is deep breathing exercises to reduce stress and anxiety. One thing I'm always doing myself is box breathing. So technically you're doing a 4-second inhale through your nose, then you got a 4-second hold, and after that you're going to release for 4 seconds through your mouth. So you can imagine a box like that. And when you're doing that, make sure to count in your head. It's almost the same like a meditation because you're mindful in that moment and you're going to reduce the stress that you maybe put yourself under while you're trading. Take breaks to refocus and reevaluate trading decisions. My most thing that I do always is to take a walk. When I'm in a trade, I set limits, I set my stop loss, I set my take profit, and I set an alert when I'm going to go to break even. So after that, there is nothing really for me to do. So I'm leaving my laptop because most of the times I'm doing stupid things and stupid decisions when I'm looking at the charts all the time. Because at the end of the day, the market won't move just because you're looking at it the whole day, okay? So make sure to go outside, get some sunlight maybe, and yeah, just make sure to refocus after coming back to maybe you traded London and now you want to trade New York. The third thing I'm always doing is using positive affirmation and visualization techniques to maintain confidence and focus. So technically there are mantras that I'm always going through in my head, and I have my book here, and these are the things. I'm not going to read it out loud, but these are my mantras which I'm going through, and this is, or I'm doing that because I'm going to maintain discipline and I maintain confidence throughout the trade, because every time I do this, I get myself back into the motion, okay, to get back into the feelings and to, yeah, just get myself back into the zone, okay? So try it out for yourself and let me know in the comments down below if that helped you. Now we are going to talk about developing a trading mindset. Irregardless of the outcome, you need to have a positive and resilient mindset. That is really important because I already talked about that. The outcome of the trade is random, okay? So you need to make sure to have a positive and resilient mindset throughout losing transactions. Ask yourself, how is a losing transaction affecting your psychology going into the next trade? Are you fearful? Are you fearful of losing? As I'm always referring to the series of 10 trades. Let's say the first 5 are losers. Are you still in a positive and resilient mindset? Or are you fearful to lose more money? Make sure to think about these things and to just be aware of them, okay? You need to adopt a growth mindset and learn from both successes and failures. That is a really, really, really important point, okay? Make sure to write it down in your notebooks. Make sure to ask the right questions in your trading journal. Let's say you have a losing transaction. Ask yourself, did I make an error on this trade? For me personally, most of the times this could be outside of session, being impatient, it could be an ego trade, revenge trade. Make sure to make it personal for you and think about the errors that you're doing. You can go through your journal, look at the older trades that were losing transactions, and make sure to see the errors that you did there. And you can filter out if you're doing it on Notion. You can filter by these errors you did, and then it's clearly showing up so you can always see it. If it's a winning transaction, make sure to go deep into that as well. Where did I exit the market? Where was the entry? How was my psychology during the trade? I myself have something that I call the trading Bible, and I always add really good trades with a good performance to the trading Bible. And I always go through that, and it's almost like going through positive mantras, because I can always go back to this and see, like, if I had a 10 out of 10 performance, I'm going to go back to that while I'm in the trade and make sure that I'm going to be refocused and rewire my brain back to the state that I was in while I was trading these older trades that were a 10 of 10 performance, if you know what I mean. So this is really important, because you always need to learn out of your trades, positive or negative. Both of them are equally important. Most of the times the negative outcomes are even more important than the winners, because there you really can see the errors that you did and you can evaluate and go deep on that. So the next point is building emotional discipline over time. Developing emotional discipline is a journey that takes time and practice. Make sure to be patient and persistent in the efforts to improve your emotional discipline. Okay? So make sure to just stick to the journey. Do the things that I mentioned before and go into your trading journal. Look through that. And I myself have a section where I am always ticking off my personal things that I'm doing prior to trading. So it's the most important things for myself. And when I'm doing that, I can always see, like, what did I do on Monday? Let's say I ticked off all the 7 boxes. What did I do on Tuesday? Did I tick off all the 7 boxes? And then I'm going to have my trading journal, which is coupled with this. And by doing that, I can always refer back to what did I do prior to taking a trade. Did I tick off all my boxes, or did I maybe leave something out which caused me to take a losing transaction? And by doing that, I can always see if I was disciplined enough, or I can see directly where I need to make sure to stay on track. Okay? Consistency and discipline in sticking to trading rules and your strategy is really important and will deliver the results you are looking for. I myself did some mistakes back in the days because I over leveraged, and when I did that, I did not review the trade that I took, because most likely I was ashamed of myself taking the trade, because I knew back then what I need to do, and I didn't do that, and I over leveraged. So by not reviewing the trade, I didn't put myself into that emotional state where I had the emotions kick in, you know? And over the time, you need to make sure to log every trade into your trading journal. Doesn't matter if you over leveraged or if you did any mistake. Make sure to log every trade there. By doing that, you will be a lot more consistent and disciplined. And 100% my results increased after I stopped being ashamed of maybe a trade where I did an error, and I really went deep into that, into the loss and what caused me to take the trade and what emotions, what did I feel taking that trade. And I'm really going to expand on that, because by doing that, I'm going to know myself better than yesterday. I'm going to know myself better than the trade that I took prior to that, let's say last week. So that is really important. Please do yourself the favor and do that every day, or let's say every time you take a trade. These were the 5 points. Number 1, understanding emotional discipline. Number 2, recognizing emotional triggers. Number 3, techniques for managing emotions. Number 4, developing a trading mindset. Number 5, building emotional discipline over time. Make sure to prioritize emotional discipline in your trading journey and implement the techniques discussed. Make sure to go through your trading journal, look at old trades that you took, what errors did you do, and really expand on them. Go into that feeling that you had. And that is the reason why you always need to log the trade after you took it, or maybe while you're in the trade, because then the emotions are there. If you're doing it on the weekend, you won't feel the same as you're feeling while you're in the trade, if you know what I mean. Okay, so make sure to check out the description. We got a 25k giveaway at the moment, and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel here at forexpropfirm.com and leave a like and a comment if you have any questions. Until next time, good luck and good trading.